We usually learn new things when we simply think outside the box. It's called creative thinking, problem solving, and it can be inspiring. Now the alternative is thinking the same way we always have. It's not creative, it doesn't solve problems, and it definitely isn't inspiring. Now I bet you haven't used your power probe like this. So let's think outside the box with the power probe. How about testing for electrolysis so that your radiator and other engine parts don't get damaged? Now electrolysis is caused by unintended stray voltage, and that's what causes all kinds of damage. Now this video is not about electrolysis. That is a lesson all in its own. It is about how to test for electrolysis using the power probe instead of a DVOM. Now sure, your DVOM will work just fine, but if you're like me, I use my power probe a lot more often than I do my DVOM. So why not use it for this? Now remember, the tip is a sensor and it senses voltage. And electrolysis is called by stray voltage. Here's how you do it with your DVOM. And here's how you do it with a power probe. See how simple it is? Now let's see it in action. The first vehicle we're going to show here is a Chrysler Minivan. Now you always want to test your tool first. Check your tool. We got a strong, good power, and we have a good source ground. Now we're simply going to move over to the radiator. The cap's off, and we're going to touch the tip inside and touch the coolant. And if you look at the gauge, you can see that we're reading voltage. That is stray voltage. Now there's no sound and there's no lights. Our next vehicle is a Hyundai Car. Same procedure. We have a good system ground, and we're going to verify a good system power. And then we move to the radiator, and we're just going to touch the tip inside, touching the coolant, not the tank. And you can see in there now, if you look at the gauge, we have stray voltage. Now our third vehicle is a Chevy Truck. Now a lot of newer vehicles have no standard radiator cap, so you can't dip in the cap, but that's okay because you'll have a coolant overflow tank. So basically you just take the cap off. Now sometimes the level down there is down a little bit far, and when you try to put the tip of your tool inside there, it won't touch anything. The level may be too low, or the opening may be small and you can't actually get your tip in there. But just simply use a jumper wire. Now here I'm using one that has two alligator clips, one on each end. I put one end on the tip, and then I just dangle the other end into the coolant. And when you look at your gauge, you can see that when it touches the coolant, it's going to read its voltage. I'll lift it out and then put it right back in just to verify that I've got it. Now how much is enough? A reading of 0.3 volts or less with the engine off is considered acceptable. Anything over can cause damage. The antifreeze is holding a charge and it should be thoroughly flushed. So with the power probe or any test tool, be creative. Think outside the box.